got shit for a bit, but some deep. And she might not even get that. Go get the cheap, boy, I know you a rat. I know that I'm here, still won't pay for the cat. If the gun is with me, the clip is attacked. They be speaking opinions, ignoring the facts. He got the Glock on him, get back. I send the blitz, fuck nigga, get back.
Alright, let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of GooTube. Today's gonna be a weird episode because it's not really a vlog. I'm just sitting there telling a story. But that's for certain reasons. I think I just joined a cult. And I don't know if I can give out too much information. They wouldn't let me take too many videos and shit, so I'm just gonna tell y'all what the fuck went down, okay? So it all started back in May when my friend was coming to visit me. My friend Ethan, he was like, hey, it's my birthday. I want to come visit you, because I just recently moved across the country and shit. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll find something for us to do. So I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw this ad and I was like, all right, like, this kind of looks fun, it's a little party, a little rave. I don't know, I've never been to a rave before, so I was like, fuck it, let's go. So the time came for us to go. We went, it was pretty cool. It was me, my friend Toby, my dog Sin, and E. It was pretty chill. But towards the end of it, I run out of cigarettes. So I'm like, fuck, I need a cigarette. So I went outside and I saw like 30, 40 people there looking around. I'm like, who's gonna be the most likely to give me a fucking stogie? So I turned around and I see this wizard and I'm like, hey, you look a cool guy, let me get a cigarette. So he gives me a cigarette, we start talking for like 30, 40 minutes, I get his Instagram, whatever. Go home, I don't think about it. Till about a week ago. And I see him on Instagram, so I text him like, hey, let's go grab a beer or something. So we meet up at the park and we grab a beer. Damn. Anyway, so we meet up at the park, we grab a beer, and we're just chilling, chopping it up. I'm telling him about what the fuck I like to do. I like to skate. I make music and shit. And he's telling me about this big ass secret party crew that he's in. They can throw parties all over the country. And I'm like, damn, well that sounds fucking fun. He's showing me pictures and videos. He's like, yo, we have an event coming up this weekend. So if you want to come, you can come with me. It's on Thursday, and it lasts until Monday. And I'm like, oh shit, sounds like fun, So he got me a ticket or whatever, I didn't talk to him for a few days. And then Thursday comes around, he texts me. And I'm like, I don't know if I should still go or not, but I was kind of bored, I didn't really have shit else to do, so pulled up on him. And he gave me a rundown of what the hell was about to go down. And I was like, all right, what we finna get into? Yeah, he told me we're about to go a couple hours deep into the woods to a location he can't tell me. There's no cell phone service out there. And I can't really take any pictures or videos and stuff like that. So in my mind, I'm like, oh shit, they about to kill me. But at the same time, I didn't really give a fuck. I packed a bag, and I didn't really know what to bring because, I kind of really never went camping before. So I just packed a big case of beer, a pocket knife, and like 2 t-shirts. Yeah, so we get in the car, and we're driving out there, shit's cool. And then we get there at like 1 in the morning on Thursday. As soon as we get there, I hear like screaming and like loud techno music playing, but it's like pitch black dark. So I'm like, all right, this is getting a little weird. So yeah, I set up my tent and I went to sleep. Woke up the next morning, looked around, and we were in this fucking middle of, I don't even fucking know, dude. It was like this big campground, it's like 100 acres and shit, bro. Like a couple hundred cows there. There's like 200, 300 people. I don't even know, because I got really fucking high at like 9 in the morning, and I'm like, fuck, I'm hungry. But I forgot to bring my food, so I just opened up some beer and I was talking to the wizard. He's like, hey, let me introduce you to some of the cult members and stuff. So we start walking around, I end up losing the wizard. There's a bunch of people there and shit. So I'm like, I'm gonna make the best out of the situation. So I go and I walk up and talk to this dude who's like 68, 70 years old. I'm gonna just call him the professor because I don't want to say anybody's real names and nothing like that. So I'm talking to the professor for like 20, 30 minutes, just telling him my life and shit like that. He's telling me about all the shit that he does. And then right afterwards, he pulls out this big ass chest, like a Minecraft fucking chest, it's brown and shit like that. And then he opens the chest. I'm like, what the hell is in that motherfucker, bro? And he turns around and he shows me. And there's literally everything in there. There's crack, meth, weed, ketamine, MDA, fucking sassafras, MDMA, acid, liquid acid, gel tab acid, dad, literally anything you could think of. I'm sitting there, there's like $10,000 worth of shit in front of me. And then he just looks me dead in my eyes. He's like, hey, pick out whatever the fuck you want. So I'm like, bet, bro, you don't know who the fuck I am, bro. So I pull out some weed, and he's like, you want some shrooms? And I'm like, nah, I'm good on shrooms. So he gives me a little vial. It looks like eye drops. And he's like, wait, you probably don't know how to use that. So he pulls it out and he gets a little drip in my hand and he's like, lick it. I'm like, what is it? He's like, you'll see. So I'm already thinking to myself, like, yo, I'm already here. Might as well. So I licked my hand, and honestly, that was probably one of the worst decisions I could have possibly made. Because right after that, you know, we're chilling, I helped them move some shit around, set up for the show or whatever. Dog, these fuckers have been putting me to work, bro. I'm out here rolling up carpets and shit. About to move these fucking couches. I'm under the barn right now where we're about to rave later. Bunch of cow shit right over there. My bad if you can't see it. I had to turn my HDR off. But yeah, that's what's going on right now. This nigga got a bunch of ties and shit. I guess he be dressing up his cows, dude. I don't know where the fuck I'm at right now. I'm in Amish country. This shit is getting wicked, dude. Then I get this weird ass feeling, bro. Like, y'all ever tripped on acid before? It was like acid, but that was on acid. I don't know, I just started rolling. I was feeling like Skrilla at that bitch. So then I go back to my tent, sitting by my tent, you know, I got some tent neighbors and shit. And they're like, oh, the new guy. You know about the sacrifice, right? And I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm playing it right now. You know, because I'm also on LSD, I'm tripping. I'm like, yo, they playing with me right now. But then I hear a bunch of other guys talking about the sacrifice. So I start sweating like a bitch, dude. I'm sweating hard as fuck. I'm sitting here like, yo, they gonna kill me. So they said there was no phone service or nothing in the woods, but I checked my phone. I'm like, yo, I got one bar, bro. So I run to the top of the fucking hill, start calling all the homies. I'm like, twin, this shit getting crazy. Twin, these niggas might kill me. So the homies are telling me like, yo, get the fuck out of there. And I'm thinking to myself like, nah, bro, I'm kind of lazy. Not gonna lie. And I don't know where I am at the time because they blindfolded me when they took me there, which is kind of weird, but you know, you gotta keep a secret, I guess. So I go back to my tent, you know, I set up a hammock, but everyone's calling it a hammock. It doesn't sound right to me. I'm gonna call that shit a hammock. So I'm sitting in the hammock chilling, you know, watching the sun go down. And as soon as it get dark outside, I hear motherfuckers start yelling again. So I go up, I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like coming down off the acid and shit. I'm thinking to myself, trying to be logical, like, you know, they were talking about sacrificing people earlier. So I try to hide in that motherfucking hammock. I'm in there like, but then I feel a tap on me and I'm like tweaking. So I roll over and I fall out the hammock and I almost start rolling down the hill. But then I look up and I see the professor and he's like, hey, follow me. So I follow him to his tent because, you know, I don't really know where the fuck anyone else is because I don't know anybody. And he pulls out the damn chest again and he's like, hey, I got something that'll cure you. You know, you seem a little anxious. And I'm like, well, you know, I am a little anxious, so I guess you're right. So then he pulls out this damn pill. You know, it's like a see-through capsule, and it looked like it got mushrooms in it. So I'm like, all right, I've done mushrooms before, bro. Let me get that shit. So I pop that motherfucker. We can start chilling, talking a little bit more. But then I start getting really hot. Like I'm sweating, bro. Like my t-shirt looked like I went to a water park. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna go chill, go to my tent. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to my tent. So I go chill and I lay in the tent. And I'm in there like, oh shit, this nigga done gave me something powerful. I think they about to murk my ass. So I'm in there rolling, tweaking. And then the wizard come through, he opened the tent and he like, yo, puts his hand in my shoulder. He looks me in the eyes. And I'm like, yo, dude, your face is melting off. And he's like, dude, yeah, sick. Does that a lot. And I'm like, dude, am I gonna die? I don't wanna die out here. He's like, bro, you're not gonna die, but I'm not finna babysit you either. And then he disappears for the rest of the night. And I'm sitting there for like another hour. I'm like, damn, bruh's right. So I get up, walk out my tent, but I'm walking like SpongeBob when he went to the prom with them long ass legs. And it's dark as hell. So I'm walking up the damn trail and there's this big ass barn up at the trail. I'm like, I ain't been in the barn yet. It seems like it's pretty loud in that motherfucker. I go inside the barn and there's like 100 people in that bitch just going stupid, like dancing. They got a DJ in that bitch, bro, playing some crazy rave shit. So I'm in there, I'm fucking with it. You know, I've never been to a rave. It's like one of them damn. You ever seen the opening scene, The Blade? That's kind of how it was, and I was fucking with it. You know what I mean? I was fucking with that shit hard as hell. Yeah, no. Then the DJs started playing like some weird ghost music shit. I'm like, yo, I don't know if I'm like really high right now or if like this is like a ritual. I'm gonna go back to the tent and take a nap. I don't even know what time it was, to be honest, but I know it was like 4 or 5 in the morning. So I tried to get some sleep. Then I wake up, check my phone, it's like 8, 9 in the morning, and the music is still going, bro. I'm like, what the hell? Oh shit, okay, I didn't get much clips last night because I did sassafras. But yeah, I just woke up. My tent is all fucked up, but hey, it's alright, it happens. I cut my hand on a fucking license plate. I don't know how, but it happened. So I'm walking around, I'm talking to people, I'm like, yo, is DJ still in there? And one of the guys was like, yo, yeah, like every year, like the DJs come out here and they try to perform until they can't. You know what I mean? Like try to break each other's record. And the dude told me like, I think the record was like 13 hours or some shit like that, and just straight DJing and straight dancing. I was like, yo, y'all niggas is crazy. But my stomach started grumbling, and I'm looking around, I'm like, yo, I ain't bring no food to this bitch, bruh. So I go and pick up my beer, start walking around looking for somebody cooking, and I see some guys grilling, and I'm like, yo, like, let me get a bite to eat, I got some beer. And they're like, yo, no problem, twin. Like, no, I got you, bro. These niggas, they cook me like a vegan bratwurst. And I'm not gonna lie, I never had no vegan bratwurst, but that shit was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. So we eating the vegan bratwurst. Then I hear a familiar sound, and I'm like, who the fuck are the Galaxy Gas? And as soon as I turn around, there's like a bunch of like picnic tables and shit around there. And I turn around and I shit you not, I see this guy with his pants down and his homeboy got a can of nitrous and he putting it up his ass. And I'm like shocked, cause I had never seen no shit like that. But then the nigga turned around, he looked at me, he like, hey, you wanna hit it? I'm like, nah, I'm good on that one, bro. So yeah, I started talking to him, and he's actually a pretty cool guy. I'm gonna just call him Dorito for now, cause I don't really feel like comfortable exposing anyone for boofing nitrous. But yeah, so me and him talking, you know, this little group of people. I'm talking to them, I'm like, hey man, how'd y'all find out about this shit? And they all tell me these crazy ass stories about how they all got invited to the cult. And I'm turning around and I look at this girl who's like covered in tattoos and shit. I ain't gonna say her name though, I'm gonna just call her ass Tatty. So talking to Tatty, and Tatty's like, yo, this is my first time here. And I'm like, oh shit, it's my first time too. So me and her automatically linked up, you know, so it's me and her, the professor, you know, we just chilling, kicking it all day, smoking, talking shit. And it starts to get dark again. So we thinking like, hey man, like let's go back to the campgrounds and shit, you know, smoke a little more weed, chill. The professor, he's like, hey man, I got something crazy. So we go back to this tent, and this nigga pull out like a little, I don't even know what the fuck it was. It's like a Zen pack or something. He opens it, and this nigga had a pink Tesla in there. Like that's like a legendary Pokemon. So I'm looking at it like, damn, OG, like you was a geeker. And he's like, you want one? I'm like, nah, I'm good on that one, bro. So him and Tatty, they pop a Tesla, and then he gives me another one of them damn capsules that I think has shrooms in it. Still don't really know what the fuck was in that shit. About like 30, 40 minutes go by, you know, that shit starts hitting me, bro. I start feeling slow motion. It was different from the first time I took it, so I really start tweaking. But then the professor and Tatty, they like, yo, you chill, you know. Tatty had a boyfriend there, so she went to go chill with her boyfriend, go back in the barn and rave. But they set up like this crazy ass light show. I was like outside. And you can see that shit like in the sky, so I'm looking at the sky, bro, and I'm like, damn, let's go on a hike. So me and the professor start hiking, and at some point I lose his ass, so I don't really know where the fuck he at. And it's pitch black dark, cause we deep in the woods. Like I said, I don't even know where the fuck I'm at. I'm walking up this hill, I didn't know how long this shit was. And I'm walking for like 30, 40 minutes, something like that, 20 minutes maybe, I don't know. And I realize I'm by myself. You know, I'm checking my pockets. I'm like, damn, I don't got my phone on me. I don't got my wallet. I don't got shit. So I just decided to keep walking. So I get to the top of the hill, and I'm sitting there just watching the light show. I'm in this giant ass field and shit, you know, just chilling. And I don't know how long time goes by, but like the sky starts getting a little blue. So I'm like, damn, I've been up all night, like by myself. Like, what the hell? Gotta go find my shit. So I start walking back down the trail, and this dude, you know what a wook is? You probably know. I don't know. A wook is like some guy who's got long hair, be at the raves. So he come out the woods, and he walk up to me, he's holding my wallet. And he's like, yo, is this your wallet? You look like the dude in the picture. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. So he gives me my wallet back, and then he passes me the bong. And I hit the bong, you know, it's a little weed in that motherfucker. I'm like, cool. So I hit it, and I pass it back to him, and he's like, yo, you fuck with opium? And I'm like, nah, I've never done opium. He's like, well, you might have just did it, because I think there's still a little opium left in here. So I'm sitting there for like 10, 20 seconds, and I'm like, looking at him like, why didn't you tell me that before you let me hit it? But, you know, I'm starting to think again to myself, and I'm like, you know, I already did this shit, so I might as well just enjoy the ride. So I look at him, I'm like, hey man, you want to go watch the sunset, chill on the hill? And he's like, yeah. So we start walking back up the damn hill, and I was so geeked up, I done forgot that the nigga had cows at the damn farm. So I'm walking up, and I see these big ass brown cows, and it looked like I'm in some Minecraft shit for real. I'm sitting here like, damn, ain't no way that's real, bro. So I walk up to the cows, you know, and start chilling, petting the cows, and we chilling, watching the sunset. Everything's all gravy. Then I start coming down a little bit off of the whatever the hell I was on. I really don't know. I go back to the tent, and I'm like, you know, I'll peace out with you later, whoop dude. So he dapped me up, you know, go to sleep. Then I try to go to sleep, but it's already like 7, 8 in the morning. I'm sleeping, and it got hot as a bitch in that mug, bro. So I try, but it only lasted like 20 minutes. Get up, I leave the tent. But then I get up out of the tent and I'm looking around like, fuck it, let's go make some new friends, because it's like one of the last days we'll be there. So I'm just walking around, and then this bad MILF shorty, she's like 45, 50, she walked up to me, she grabbed me, she pulled me along, she's like, hey, has anything weird been going on? I'm like, what you mean? She's like, I don't know, like, cause people been being weird to you? And I'm like, not really. So she started asking me about the professor, and I'm like, oh, shit. But anyway, it was like a weird power struggle thing. Like, I think she said that she thought the professor was trying to hunch me, but I don't swing that way, you know what I'm saying? So then I started thinking, I'm like, yo, cause I seen her around, she was peeping me all weekend I was there, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, oh, I think you wanna hunch me. So I did what anyone in that situation would do, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just stick with you today. So we was chilling, and then we went and met with one of the DJs, and he gave us some liquid LSD, some more of that shit, and I was like, you know, all the MILFs is doing it. It's like 5 of them there, and I'm like the youngest dude there. I'm 22, so I do it with him. And yeah, we just ended up chilling all day. We go on a cool trip, wandering through the forest and shit. A couple motherfuckers got poison ivy, but I moved too militant for that shit. I got pants on. So I ended up talking to shorty. I was just asking her questions and shit. I'm like, so how'd you figure out about this? You know what I mean? She said they've been partying since like the late 80s, early 90s and shit. She laid some history knowledge down on me. She told me that their party crew was the first motherfuckers to bring out Daft Punk to America in 1996. And then in 1997, Daft Punk dropped their debut album and shit. And then she told me a bunch of crazy shit, like the history of electronic music and techno music and shit like that. So I'm really on board with it, fucking with it and everything, you know. Then she starts telling me more about the Wizard, cause I guess her and the Wizard been friends for longer than I've been alive or something. When she telling me, she's like, yeah, the Wizard, man, like, you didn't know. So apparently there's this thing called Dance Safe. And Dance Safe is at like all the music festivals and raves and shit now. And way back before, I guess, they had like lead tents and shit, got like Rolling Loud or Summer Smash or something like that. They had motherfuckers working for Dance Safe that would test the drugs and make sure no one overdosed and a bunch of good positive shit. So I was like, yeah, I can get on board with this shit. Cause at first I thought it was just like a crazy ass cult, like they was gonna sacrifice me and kill me and shit. But I was already there for a few days. They didn't kill me. So I was like, you know what, I trust y'all a little bit more. So then the nighttime rolls around and I'm kind of confused all day, just like soaking in knowledge, because coming down off the LSD. And I'm walking up toward the barn, you know, it's like hella tents and hella cars and shit like that everywhere. And I see this one tent and it's got like purple black lights all inside of it. And I'm walking past it and I'm like, I really want to go up in there. But I seen Tatty. She was sitting by the picnic table. So I started talking to Tatty and I'm like, I really want to see that motherfucker, girl. So she's like, are you too scared? I'll go in there for you. So she went in there, I watched her come back out a couple seconds later. She's like, yo, it's like a free art room, you know what I mean? Like people in there is painting and shit and all that. So I'm in there chilling, painting, doing some graffiti. And then this shirtless dude walk in and I'm looking at him. He's looking at me dead in my shit. Like he's looking at me like dead in my shit. So I'm like staring at him back. And I'm like, yo, bro, like, what's your name, bro? So he tells me nothing. He's like, my name is nothing. And then he pulls this damn, hold on. He pulls this damn CD out of his pocket. I don't know if you can read that, hold on. But yeah, it says, this didn't happen. I still haven't watched it yet, cause I just got back like yesterday. But I'm finna watch it and I'll tell y'all what happens. I don't know. So yeah, we chilling, we go to the rave, you know, it's like it's constant party like for like 4 or 5 days straight. So DJs is still bumping in the barn. So I'm in there chilling with them and hanging out, and then they telling me, oh, it's about to be movie time. So they put on this big ass like projector inside of the barn after like they closed the rave. And a bunch of the other cult members, they were telling me like, yo, they always play some weird ass movies like every year, cause they do like the festival every year like just for the cult members and shit, like it's invite only. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, what type of weird ass, like they about to watch some like gory porn in there or something, I don't know. So I don't go in the barn yet for like 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, I'll skip out on the movie. But I'm still like hella confused because I'm still on the LSD, you know, coming down. It take like 12, 13 hours. I'm sitting looking around. I'm in the middle of a conversation with a bunch of motherfuckers. I don't even know their names. So I get up and I start walking towards the barn and I see this woman that looks kind of like my mom. So I walk up to her and I'm like, hey, you wanna watch the movie? And she's like, hell yeah, you know, like, but just to let you know, I'm a little high right now. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I think we all high right now. Well, not everyone was high. There's a couple sober people there, a couple just drinkers, but you know, there was like no rules. Like the only rule there was to just be nice to your neighbor. So I'm like, hey, what you high off, bro? And she showed me like this big ass like extendo cup just filled with like, it looked like lemonade. She's like, you want a sip? And I'm like, nah, I'm good on that. She's like, it's got a bunch of sassafras in it, and it's got some ecstasy in it, and we put some liquid THC in there. And I'm like, oh, so y'all rolling. So I passed the opportunity on to drink a cup, because she passed it to like 6, 7 motherfuckers, and they all just chilling, you know. So we go in the movie, we watch the movie. It's really cool, because like inside the barn, they had this giant ass half pipe and shit. And they put like mattresses all down on the half pipes. There's like 70 people in there just laying on that bitch. They all got blankets, you know, we watching this movie, like everyone's passing around blunts and shit. It's like, it's a real cool vibe, you know, like one of the craziest like experiences I ever been through. But I'm watching the movie and I'm like, yo, this shit mad confusing. Like I watched damn near the whole movie and I had no idea what the fuck was going on. So the movie comes to an end after like 2 hours. I'm sitting there looking around at everybody. They start another one, and they play the Warriors. Like, I've already seen that like 4 times, so I get up, I'm like, all right, I think I just wasted the past 2 hours of my fucking life, so I'm gonna get up out of that motherfucker. So I walk up out the barn, go chilling, I hear some motherfuckers like freestyling and shit, so I jump in to try to jump into freestyle, but my brain is so scrambled, I don't even really say words. So I just end up chilling there, you know, and then the older shorty I was hanging out with all day, she walked up to me, and she was like, hey, like, me and a couple of the other cult members, like we got this hotel room like 10, 15 minutes away. Like, so they got like one floor with like 10, 15 rooms on it. She's like, hey, you probably ain't showered all weekend, cause like the shower there was kind of ass, like it was a campground shower. So I knew I was stank as a bitch. So I took her up on the offer. I'm like, yeah, I'll come back to the hotel with you and we could, I'm taking a shower. So I get back to the hotel and I get there and there's like fuck ton, cause there's like 40 like the older members, like the original crew, and they all got like different rooms. So I'm going in and out of the rooms, like motherfuckers is in there doing crazy ass shit I can't even speak on. But I'm chilling in there, chopping it up, you know, and fast forward a couple hours, I can't speak about that either. When daytime comes, it's like 9 in the morning, and it's like the last day. I get a text from my ride, the wizard. He's like, hey bro, where you at, bro? I'm leaving in like 10 minutes. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh shit, 10 minutes, you 10 minutes away. So I'm like, fuck, I need a whip. So I go and run in the rooms, and I'm talking to one of the members, and I'm like, yo, shorty I rode with, she fell asleep. How the hell I'm supposed to get back, bro? I'm right about to leave. And this motherfucker, without even thinking, like 2 seconds later, he just pulls some car keys out of his pocket. He just throw them at me. He's like, yo, Black Lincoln in the parking lot. You can just take that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, fuck, I don't want to get stranded in the middle of nowhere. So I do what any sensible person would do. I hopped in that motherfucker whip and skirt, you know? Pull back up to the compound, left the car there, hopped in my ride's car, and we went home. Oh yeah, one last thing. So before I left, one of the cult members came up to me, and they all had this symbol on like all their shirts, and everyone had tattoos and socks and bandanas and hats and capes. And I was like, man, I feel left out, man. I want one of those shit. But one of the members came up to me and they was like, yo, take this. They gave me this. I don't even know if I was supposed to show y'all that. They might come kill me. Who knows? I really don't care, honestly. But I love them, you know what I mean? So they gave me this and they were like, yo man, like, you go to damn near any music festival, any of these raves, these underground parties we be throwing in. You show them this, that means that you one of us. But I don't really know if I believe that, so I guess I'm just gonna have to figure it out. Yeah, that's how I ended up here, you know? Like, I've been texting, I got back yesterday, been texting a couple of the cult members and shit, and they told me the next event is on July 4th. They got this big ass school. One of the cult members like bought a whole school or something like that, and they like renovated it, and they got like, it turned into like a party scene, like a high school or some shit. So I don't really know. I guess I'm gonna just have to wait and see. I'm definitely finna show y'all niggas that shit too. If you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching. You might as well subscribe to a nigga or something. I don't know. More stories, more videos, more whatever coming soon. I'm out.
Bitch beside me when it's time to use the heat sink. Every time I drop, these niggas put my shit on repeat. Yes, I keep it hot just like the oven at 360. All about them dollars, cause my mama taught me get cheap. Feel like I'm on top, and ain't no nigga fucking with me. Gone. I be shooting triple doubles like my name LeBron. She told me to listen, but that bitch not my mom. If you try to find me, just go to him.com. I just fill my cup up